Christmas prep
Yes.
and the full workload.
I have. I mean, I'm a Christmas baby. I love my Christmas decorations and all that sort of thing. So, but the apartment needs to look a certain way before the decorations go up. So I started that this weekend.
All right, and I'm all smiles here because I don't know that I have done anything intentionally just yet, except some of those major things on the outside in the yard that needs to be done, that I got started early enough this year or this time around. But viewers, at this point, we head straight on over to news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, Julian and Candice. I am Tanika Cruikshank, and here is your news in 90 seconds for Tuesday, 14th November 2023, sponsored by B-Mobile. The Division of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation apologizes to Celebrity Silhouette passengers and stakeholders for cruise tours cancellation on November 11, 2023. In a press release, the division noted that despite the extensive pre-season meetings, the increased number of cruise ship calls led to unforeseen challenges. The Secretary Councillor Tashia Boris expressed apologies to the ship's representatives and passengers, providing 350 gift bags and a formal letter acknowledging the importance of preventing future incidents. She assures steps would be taken to mitigate steps and risk and maintain the destination's integrity. Boris believes the incident promotes stakeholders to enhance systems for growth in the industry. Former FIFA Vice President and Government Minister Jack Warner has been ordered by the Privy Council to repay $1,505,493 plus interest to businessman Christian Lala. The judgment delivered recently stems from a lawsuit providing payments to Warner's company in 2007. Warner argues the money was for campaign financing, not a loan. The Privy Council upheld the 2018 High Court ruling that deemed the payments loan, rejecting Warner's appeal. They found no issue with the trial conducted and affirmed the judge's impartialities. The order includes interest from May 15 to 2018 until repayments. Public Administration Minister Alison West addressed security concerns at the Park Court building in Port-of-Spain for the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. She stated that the government made every effort to address the DPP, Roger Gaspassad, security concerns, but the landlord halted request work based on engineering assessment. The assessment indicated that the building's foundation could not support additional works. West refuted claims by former Attorney General Ramesh Lawrence Maharaj about standard protocol for special branch clearance and referred a 1997 cabinet note to support her position. And that concludes your news in 90 seconds, brought to you by B-Mobile.
Yes, good morning, viewers. Good morning and welcome back. Thank you very much there, Tanika. And folks, yes, I've got to make a major correction. Now starting the week and the holiday yesterday, I'm in the Monday morning mode. But no, folks, it's Tuesday the 14th. Sorry to disappoint you if you got caught up just like me. It's not Monday. It is Tuesday, the 14th of November. The days are speeding by. Certainly, that holiday was well appreciated. But the days are running by. Today is Tuesday, the 14th of November, 2023. All eyes and ears were certainly on me here in studio, as I graciously mentioned Monday with confidence. But today is Tuesday. It's Tuesday the 14th.
I didn't even catch it because to me, this morning feels like Monday morning.
It just feels like that kind of Monday morning. Candice, your thoughts very quickly on that entire situation that happened with the cruise. I'm just confused.
I am also very confused as to what they really want, what the taxi operators really want, because to not show up when there's a major cruise ship in town, that is huge. That has serious implications, and as the secretary indicated, they have to now apologize to the cruise line and so on. And that has some pretty far-reaching consequences. But what do they really want, and who really owes them the money? Is it the tour agent itself, the one who organized the tours, or is it the THA? THA is saying that they have no outstanding monies with them. So it's a little bit confusing.
Very, very, very interesting and unfortunate indeed. But we continue to pay attention to see what's developing and will eventually come out. What we trust and hope very sincerely is that we will not have a repeat of that kind of embarrassing situation. All right, viewers, at this point we're heading straight on into our birthday shoutouts, and that's our birthday shoutout segment this morning.
And we're getting things started off this morning with Senator Lawrence Hislop. So a special happy birthday, well, belated birthday greetings to him. His birthday was yesterday. I trust that you had a safe and wonderful day.
I suspect he's still celebrating. Birthday blessings going out to you, Senator Lawrence Hislop. And on screen, many know her as Tintin. All right, this morning we're sending a birthday shout out to Tennille Jack. We want to wish you indeed continued blessings, and we trust that you continue to enjoy the birthday celebrations, every bit of it. In fact, I suspect Tennille is the type she's going to celebrate probably into December and Christmas. Do enjoy.
And next we have Miss Onella Wilson. So a special happy birthday to you, and yeah, hope you have a wonderful day celebrating today.
All right, and belated birthday greetings going out to Jamila Leslie, coming from the entire Tobago Updates family.
And then we have next a very special lady, Miss Roslyn Wood. So happy and special birthday, and I suspect this is also coming from your family as well, Miss Roslyn Wood. So happy birthday to you. And I hope that you are being treated very nicely today.
Yes, the entire family, Ronald Roston, his sister as well. We want to wish, they're certainly sending out birthday shout outs to you. All right. And how could I forget? Mr. Ezekiel Wood himself. All right, sending the birthday shout out the entire family. And the folks, we have on screen Mr. Downtown Fitness. Certainly Mr. Lyndon Bakker, certainly known in the industry to many of us as it relates to fitness and your health and keeping on top of things, no matter the circumstances, perhaps even calling you out on social media. But we're taking the time out this morning to send a birthday shout out going out to Lyndon, Mr. Downtown Fitness Bakkers. This morning we wish you indeed continued blessings, greetings coming out from Aveen, your sisters, the entire family. Really wishing you a happy birthday and indeed God's continued blessings.
Certainly. Happy birthday, Lyndon. And then, I think we're at the end of our birthday greetings this morning.
Oh, yes, that's our birthday lineup for this morning. And we're heading straight on into our rundown this morning. Candice, who do we have on the rundown with us this morning here on the Tobago Updates Morning Show?
Okay, let me see if I can just bring that up for a second. And okay, as we get started, we are going to get started this morning with Mr. Colin Graves, of the head of the public relations for Digital Trinidad and Tobago, as we talk about a digital network upgrade coming soon in Tobago. That's going to be very interesting.
All right, and we continue the conversation this morning with Dr. Maxwell Adiemi, and he's a primary care physician with the public health, and we'll be speaking about World Diabetes Day 2023. Those are questions that you need to ask your doctor in the mix, so we look forward to those upcoming discussions this morning.
And then we close things off with an update from the TTPS as we discuss what's been happening with the police, as well as we talk about scammers, because of course we're coming next year to Christmas time, and unfortunately this is the time that these unscrupulous persons within our society try to take advantage of the vulnerable. So we'll be speaking with Inspector Mahalia Bacchus as well as Sergeant Glenville Wilson as we discuss these things.
All right, so we want to say thank you so much for those of you continuing to connect with us here on the Tobago Updates Morning Show. Thank you for tuning in, to each and every one of you for continuing to choose. I know I met and interacted with a few of you over the course of the weekend, and I just want to say thank you. Many of you, in fact, shout outs down there, that grocery store at the 4 roads there by the Calvary Road church. I want to say shout outs to you all down there. I passed through last weekend. In fact, it's in mid shopping, picking up a few things. See, but your face look like the Tobago Updates fella. Most certainly, and our response is always the same. Thank you so much for continuing to support and for choosing the Tobago Updates Morning Show, because in a world where there are many options out there internationally, locally, and nationally, you've chosen to stick with us, and we really and truly appreciate your continued support. Those of you viewing faithfully each and every day, and those of you also connecting with us via social media. Those listening in on our YouTube channel and wherever you are connecting with us, we want to say thank you. And we want to remind you that this is your opportunity to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome back. We're just at about 7:09 a.m. I'm Julian Skeet, and welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show, coming to you here live from the Port Mall in Scarborough, Tobago. At this point, we're connecting, and we head into our first interview with Colin Greaves, Head of Public Relations, Digicel Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, indeed. Good morning and welcome.
Thank you so much. It's always great to be here with Tobago Updates.
All right, excellent. So we're speaking Digicel network upgrade coming soon. So, immediately people hear the coming soon and they want to get closer to some timeline. So let's start around there. What are our targets that are set out? And then we go into a little bit more details about what these upgrades will entail this time around.
Okay, so the targets is that Digicel, of course, we want to continue to give our customers, both in Trinidad and Tobago, the best quality service. So that means that we're going to be doing some major upgrades. I mean, we've always been doing upgrades and investing in the network, but this is a big one. We're going to be actually decommissioning our 2G network on March the 31st, 2024. So we have between now and the first quarter of next year to switch out those devices and stuff so that to make sure they're compatible with our new upgraded technology moving forward on our faster networks.
So will there be any sort of deals or services offered to customers that may have to switch up their devices? Is there something in place for that?
Of course, yeah. At Digicel, we always want to make these transitions as smooth and as easily as possible. And the customers, we definitely want to ease the burden. So throughout this Christmas season, we have some really amazing offers on our prepaid and postpaid side. So, from starting as low as $3.99, you can get a brand new device, 2G, 3G, 3G, 4G compatible. And of course, those devices, it's not only just the device. We're giving you the device, of course, with 30 days service. So you can get a phone from as little as $3.99. And now, but the way things go, $3.99 is definitely a steal of a deal moving forward because you're talking about service as well. So we have a lot of fantastic offers on devices itself. And of course, throughout the Christmas season, we'll also be giving away devices. So a couple thousands of our 2G customers, the customers who exist on that 2G network, of course, we would know based on your network usage and the SIM card you have in the device and stuff, we will actually be giving away a couple thousand devices to the general public to help the transition from 2G to 3G, 4G, LTE, etc. A lot smoother, and of course, to give you something extra this Christmas.
How easy is it, if I'm not as technologically savvy, for me to be conscious that my device is a 2G and still working on that older network? Some tips and tricks for those who are not as technologically savvy, or quite frankly, if you're in the grouping of my grandmother, where you quite frankly don't care to verify, and if they don't give you a simple way, you'll call someone to help you. What's a simple way for us to be able to identify those who are still on that 2G network?
Well, we've created two very simple ways. Well, one is we want you to easily go on our website, digiceltt.com, look for network. We have what we call an LTE checker there. And all you have to do is just type in your cell phone number, and that's it. It's going to check your SIM card and will let you know whether or not your SIM needs to change or not. So that's one way, the LTE checker that's now built in on the Digicel Trinidad and Tobago website. Then the second way, of course, is you can visit a store or you can do some research on your device. So if you know what type of devices you have, and guys, this also is not just for cell phones, but different types of devices. We're talking GSM devices, and GPS devices in vehicles, for instance. Many of those still work on 2G network. So it might be a case of you simply contacting your provider you would have purchased those devices from, to find out if they're 3G and 4G LTE compatible, or as simple as doing a simple Google search on the internet, type in the name of the device, the model, and it should let you know. And finally, if you really need additional assistance, please feel free to visit us at an in-store, and we would have our customer service representatives assist you as much as possible there.
A call option as well?
You see, the thing is, we can't necessarily have a call option, because in checking the device, we either need to put in your SIM card number or your actual device, or we need to see the device to be able to check it. So, I mean, customers are always invited to use our customer care contact center options, which are our live chat on our My Digital app, or live chat via our website and stuff. But for something like this, we really think that the LTE checker built in on our website, or even just visiting us so we can take a look at changing out your SIM card for you, are one of the great things. And of course, we also will be doing those SIM upgrades free of charge for our customers. So it's not to say that you're going to incur a cost by having to swap from a 2G SIM to a 3G SIM. So we're really working with the customers to make this transition as seamless as possible.
And then what about the service upgrades? So are we going to see increased coverage around Tobago? Because we know that there are certain points where just the data connectivity, there's a little disruption sometimes based on the topography of the land and so on.
Mm-hmm. Well, definitely. We have been working over the last couple of months. I mean, coming off of the heels of last year, we made some significant promises to Tobago, where we said that we were investing quite a bit of capital into upgrading our network in Tobago, into what we call ring fencing the island, in terms of building out additional LTE support as well as our fiber broadband network. And we've been doing just that. I mean, in a couple of weeks' time, we'll be making some bigger announcements around a particular project we have called Deep Blue One that we're working on as well. That's going to bring a whole different level of connectivity to Tobago. But with this particular 2G upgrade, definitely, I mean, the reality is that the benefits that the 3G network as well as the 4G and LTE advanced networks bring, it brings wider coverage, it brings greater service. You're going to get better connectivity, you're going to definitely get better call quality on those calls, as well as it's going to enhance your streaming from your mobile devices. So there are a range of benefits that you can have for sure from upgrading from 2G to 3G and 4G LTE.
All right, good. Just make the distinction for persons out there wondering, in terms of sometimes you look in that top right-hand corner and it's wavering between your LTE going to your 3G. What's happening there? I want you to just explain that for the layman that has concerns and wondering. And the first thing we probably respond to say, what's going on with Digicel? My phone ain't working properly. Please just provide that explanation so that we can have some guidance in that regard.
Okay, so when you talk about connectivity, remember, we're talking about different radio frequencies and stuff like that, right? So we're talking about bandwidth, we're talking about all the invisible radio waves that surf through the air that your phone attempts to connect to, dependent on where you are and what you're doing. So when you see it moves from, let's say, 4G LTE to 4G, it might throttle for 3G back to 4G intermittently. That just means that you're connecting to different cell sites or different towers as you probably move from location to location. So the thing is that when you have a device that's more powerful, so for instance, when we talk 2G, 3G, 4G, the G just stands for generation. So 2G stands for second generation technology, and of course that is 3G, third generation, and 4G, fourth generation technology. So as you can imagine, the higher the number is, the better and more advanced the technology is going to be, which means that it's going to make your system, your phone device, your GPS, your portable devices are all going to be stronger and have a better chance of connecting and latching on to a solid signal. In addition to that, well, parallel to that, the upgrades that we want to do, or that we are doing in terms of decommissioning our 2G network, allows us to put a lot more resources and focus into the 3G and 4G LTE advanced networks. And of course, this would allow us to further boost and strengthen those signals. It will allow us to further enhance the connectivity that you experience. It allows us to further make sure that every time that you connect, that you have a more seamless, a more consistent signal, and that's what we're working toward, because we promise the best service, and sometimes what we have to do is look at where we're putting our resources so that we can ensure that the resources benefit the customers as much as possible.
All right. And very quickly, worst case scenario, I am trusting that you're going to be having a very major rollout between now and March in terms of engaging customers far and wide. Worst case scenario, you get to March, you were probably under a rock. What's going to happen to your device if you are still on a 2G?
Well, I would hope that rock would be a rock that's not in Trinidad, because we really intend to reach out as much as possible to customers using all of our touch points. And of course, it's about, and guys, look out for official communications from Digicel. Look out for our SMS messages. Look out for official Digicel communications via our social media. It's a great time to follow us online. I mean, we're also getting into Christmas, so, we have lots of giveaways attached to these campaigns as well. So across the Digicel network, you can definitely be sure that we're going to do as much as possible to inform our customers, encourage them to change, hold their hands along the way, gift them devices, make sure that they have the free SIMs. However, as you mentioned, for that one person who may be under that rock somewhere very, very far that we can't find, come March 31st, their device would no longer work. And we would hope that on the 1st of April, they would hurriedly get into our stores to get themselves a new device and keep their connectivity on the best network in TNT.
All right, I want to thank you so much, Mr. Graves, for being on with us and for sharing with us that upgrade. And we are certainly looking forward to seeing better service from Digicel, especially right here in Tobago. So thank you again.
Thank you
so much for having me.
All right, well, viewers, we're going to go for a break, so please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. But before we go, we got to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Who would I ever believe, Jessica could take care of a child,
I know, right? I'm a kinship foster parent to my nephew Malik.
Papa, you remind me of my grandmother, when she used to take care of my cousins.
If I didn't step in, I don't know where he would have ended up. Plus, I get support from Children's Authority, training, and counseling.
But Jessica, you're not married?
That doesn't matter. Once you have a safe home and you're related to the child, you're good.
So they just gave money to do this?
Yeah, they do give me some money.
So, Auntie, you can buy a lamb for me?
Oh, I'm so sorry, Malik, but that money's to take care of you. Okay, smubble up is.
I will not try. Mommy, you can buy
No.
Wait, I didn't even finish my sentence.
About Lamborghini, you could get lamb stew for lunch.
Auntie Jessica could only come when you come in, because all them does do is talk people business.
Malachi, I'm only going on the bed.
But Mommy, the boy don't even live here.
Yeah, go to your bunkers.
What? Bunkers? Where's that?
I think I'm getting pretty good at this.
Hey, hello guys, welcome. Come have a seat. Oh, this is so stylish and I love the fabric. Darlings, you must tell us where you got your new furnishings.
We got them locally at Standard. They've got new chic European furniture, crafted from high quality material.
Oh, Standard?
No, it's Standard, their brand new Hive collection.
Experience luxurious European furniture at a price you will love. The Hive Collection, now exclusively available at Standard.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show, coming to you here live from the Port Mall in Scarborough, Tobago. I'm Julian Skeet, and we're just at around 7:22 a.m. this morning. And certainly we are happy to welcome on set with us Dr. Maxwell Adeyemi, primary care physician. And this time around, we're speaking diabetes, World Diabetes Day 2023. Good morning to you, Dr. Max.
Good morning, Julian.
And how are you doing?
Good morning, Tobago. Nice to be here this morning, yeah.
Excellent. So we're going to get the conversation started by giving us a little backdrop into World Diabetes Day that we celebrate annually.
Well, basically, the World Diabetes Day is a day that we mark or create an awareness for the disease called diabetes. It was recognized by WHO and usually programmed by the World Diabetes Federation and International Diabetes Federation. Basically, there are diabetes associations in every country. In Tobago, we have 2 diabetes associations. We have the Canaan Bonaccord group as well as the Scarborough branch. These 2 branches are integral part of the DATT, which is the Diabetes Association of Trinidad and Tobago, which is also the umbrella under which, the unit of the International Diabetic Federation, which is a worldwide organization.
All right. What we want to get into, just to begin to break it down, because some people have the traditional perspective where they refer to it as sugar. In terms of, but I wanted to get into it a little bit just to give an understanding for the purpose of our viewers and listeners. What is diabetes and how can one be tested for it? How can I be tested for it?
Well, basically, diabetes, as we know, it is a chronic disease, of glucose dysmetabolism, all right? It's a abnormal, glucose metabolism as a result of insulin deficiency, lack of, or total absence of insulin production. And it not only affects glucose metabolism, but invariably it affects carbohydrates, protein, and fat metabolism. As a result of that, there's a buildup of blood sugar in the body, in the blood, which eventually become inimical to the functioning of the body systems.
So to put quite simply, it's not a case of if I consume too much sweet or too much sugar, as the traditional the thinking might have been. I just want you to clear that misconception. Is there any truth to that? That it's exclusively connected, in terms of consumption of sweets and so on?
Well, basically, diabetes is a multifactorial disease. There are so many factors that comes to play. Consuming sugar only by itself is not necessarily what leads to diabetes, because there are some people who eat a lot of sugar and their body is able to cope with it. However, unbridled consumption of sugar puts a lot of burden on your system, especially the insulin-producing cells in the pancreas, because the more sugar you eat, the more, insulin your body will have to produce. And over time, you can actually exhaust or tire out that system, and it could become a problem. But that is just one aspect of it. There are some other factors that may, play a part in, developing diabetes, which are sedentary lifestyle, genetics, hereditary, and stuff like that.
All right. So viewers, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. We invite you to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Put a smile on your face.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
They won't see, but they were hearing us.
So your car break down.
Oh, no, not again.
And you're worried paying a wrecker could mean a pocket breakdown too. But when you're insured with Tatil, no stress.
Yes!
A Tatil motor policy has lots of benefits that protect your pocket, like free roadside assistance. That's free 24/7 every time, as many times as you need. Tatil, where people are people. A member of the Ansa-McAl Group.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show. I'm Julian Skeet, and we're just at about 7:29 a.m. this morning, and we are continuing the conversation with Dr. Maxwell Adeyemi, primary care physician. It's the 14th of November. It's World Diabetes Day, and we're speaking about diabetes, just giving a little insight and more information, and just some things that you probably need to be asking your doctor on that next visit or check. So, Dr. Maxwell, we just went through giving an idea and a better understanding and bringing clarity to defining diabetes. I want you to tell us a little bit about, what kind of health problems can be caused for persons who definitely have had challenges in terms of managing, being persons who are diabetic.
Sorry about that.
Doctors always on call, folks, always.
Basically, diabetes as a disease does have quite a lot of health, issues, complications that may arise from diabetes. I normally, educate my client, my patients, that diabetes generally is a head-to-toe disease. It affects practically every aspect of your life, every part of your body could be at risk, from your head to your toe. So you could have things like, stroke, Alzheimer's, dementia that could happen if it affects your brain. Your eyes just going down systematically, that could have like diabetic retinopathy, cataracts, glaucoma, and eventual blindness. If you go down a little bit to your chest, you see, you could have heart problems, diabetic cardiomyopathy, diseases of the big and small vessels of the heart. You could have heart attacks, stuff like that. Then you could go down into the abdominal cavity. You have things like kidney problems, most of the kidney disease that we have on the island basically as a result of, diabetes, more than half could be diabetes. Then you could also have intestinal problem, constipation, diabetes, gastroparesis, because the diabetes affect the nerves in the stomach and therefore makes, stomach activities and proportion, peristaltic activity difficult, so you could have diabetic gastroparesis. It could also affect your pelvic area, females and males, your sexual organ could be damaged, in terms of having erectile dysfunctions for men and problems with women who basically may have recurrent vaginal infections and obviously eventually may lead to some sexual issues as well. And then if you go down to your lower extremities, you have blood vessels damages as well, nerve damages, which may create a disease called diabetic neuropathy and cause problem with your sensations, your lack of feelings. And if any of those limbs get affected by any kind of infection, you could end up with gangrene and amputation. And so there could be so many ills that could arise as a result of diabetes.
And you know, I hear you making that description from head right down to toe. What are the possibilities in terms of, is it something that you look out for, you do regular testing, is there a particular age group? Because, you know, we still live in a time where we feel as younger persons, oh, I don't need to check for these things. Perhaps I'm still going towards my retirement time. Just bring some clarity there for us in terms of the persons that can be affected, and how soon should you really be doing that check or that test from time to time?
Well, basically, these days diabetes could afflict any age group now as we are. As you know, we have different types of diabetes. You have the type 1, type 2, and the gestational diabetes. Type 2 diabetes used to be, you know, a disease of the aged people before in the past, but that is no longer the case, as we know, because of obesity, the lifestyle, sedentary lifestyle, and poor eating habit. Folks as early as 10, 12, 11 could actually come down with type 2 diabetes. So depending on when one is diagnosed with the diabetes, you know, it takes roughly about 10 to 15 years before you start seeing complications. So it is always advisable that you check on a regular basis, because some people have this disease and they are not aware of it. So you could have it for about like 5, 10 years and you don't know. Your body have a lot of compensatory mechanisms to try to cope with this situation until eventually something gives in, and then you have a devastating, you know, complication that may occur as a result of diabetes. So the key thing is to always check, especially once you have risk factors, like you have family histories, persons in your family that has diabetes, you're obese and overweight, or you have a sedentary lifestyle, you're above 25. Most of these categories of persons need to be screened on a regular basis.
So it's a safe thing to say, one of the questions that you should be asking your doctor is, suspect anything, what type of diabetes am I at risk for?
Right, really. The type 1 diabetes usually comes at very early age. Usually, most of these folks come down around 3, 4, 5 years old. You try, you know, manifest, usually hereditary and stuff like that. So type 1 is total lack of insulin. So you will see the manifestation very early in life. That does not mean that people older than that cannot get type 1 diabetes, because you can diagnose type 1 diabetes in as old as 20, 21, 25 year olds, you know. So, but you normally would know type 1 diabetes very early in life, okay? Type 2 diabetes, however, comes on later in life as a result of maybe a lot of lifestyle, like, you know, sedentary lifestyle and stuff like that. So the other side, gestational diabetes is something that develops as a result of the stress of pregnancy. Okay, so most women who are diabetic, sometimes they may be at risk, who become gestational diabetic as a result of the pregnancy. Most of the time when they are delivered of the baby, the diabetes resolved. However, 50% of them later on in life may eventually develop type 2 diabetes as well.
And I'm glad you mentioned it there. It's also important if it's in your family line, right? Because there is a possibility. Now, for those persons listening out there, you know, I want you to share a little bit, just again for the sake of information and education, and to remind the persons, if you're diagnosed with diabetes, it's not the end of the world. I want you to provide some guidance in terms of how can diabetes be treated? How is it treated generally?
Generally, diabetes is treated, you know, as patient-specific. Every patient's treatment has to be customized to, you know, the person, their personality, what they have, what they can afford, and stuff like that. And largely, we start with lifestyle change, which will involve change in your diet, as well as change in your physical activity. Okay, you have to be able to be moving and be able to expend energy to kind of burn some of the sugar, and you have to be able to change your diet in terms of the calorific intake that you take. Okay, it's not that you cannot eat any kind of food. You can eat any kind of food you want as a diabetic, but everything has to be measured, customized, and be in appropriate proportion, right? So that is lifestyle change. If lifestyle doesn't work, then we go into oral medications. There are quite a few, over 10 categories of oral medication that you take by mouth and stuff like that. If oral medication doesn't work, okay, in combination or in single, you know, monotherapy, then you can add injectable medications, which invariably involves insulin. And there are some other type of injectable medications now, but they're expensive and they're not really available here. But insulin is an option that we have. So it could be lifestyle change, medication, insulin, and stuff like that.
All right, and I want you to share with us very quickly before we wrap. We've spoken about persons right along in terms of being affected by. For someone who does not have diabetes, what's your advice to them in terms of how to continue operating or the things to be conscious of to help prevent, in terms of preventative measures?
Basically, it's to know your family history. When you know your family history, so you know what kind of disease, diabetes or otherwise, that you have, and you will be able to structure your life in a way that you can avoid some of the problems that may come. But apart from knowing your family history, then screening is important. So maybe once a year, every 6 months, some people will do their testing just to be sure they're okay. Make sure that you are eating healthy as much as you can, okay? And healthy food are not necessarily cheap these days, okay? So, but you can find some kind of balance in what you're eating to include your carbohydrates, your proteins, and your fat, okay? Typical plate should actually include at least 1/4 of your plate meaning carbohydrate, another 1/4 will be like protein, and half will be fruits and vegetables. So when you follow that kind of pattern, your feeding or your eating habit is kind of structured in a balanced way. And then you also have to maintain a healthy weight, okay? So there's some way that you can get your height for weight, BMI and whatever. Make sure that you're within the limit of your height and, body structure, you have a balanced weight. And then physical activity, keep active and, keep moving.
Excellent. And Dr. Marks, just before you go, I got to touch on that lighter side. People see the primary care physician, your official capacity employment, but I know even in your private life and your voluntary and community work, as early as this weekend, you'd have been involved with the Rotary Club of Southwest Tobago. Kudos going out. Successful execution of the annual diabetes initiative, of which you're a past president of the club. You've also been involved with the Diabetes Association, doing your work there, supporting even initiatives. Kudos as well to Eastern Credit Union over the course of the weekend. What's your word of advice and encouragement to those NGOs out there, community groups, and even companies with that social responsibility? How can they get on board with really providing that support and educating the public?
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. Well, Rotary has been, as you know, involved in diabetes project for the past 10, 15 years, and we're doing it every year just to educate and enlighten people about the disease. The same thing with the Diabetes Association, of which I'm a part as well, the National Diabetes Association all across the island in Trinidad and in Tobago. There are a series of programs that have been taking place over the weekend, and including today as well. And kudos also to Eastern Credit Union, because they, for the past 12 years, they have been creating an awareness here for the walkathon, and this week alone, after the walkathon on Saturday, they have also donated over 100 glucometers that we are distributing to people who are diabetic or who like to be engaging in testing their blood sugar. Most folks who are diabetic, they just come and then we give them free testers for them to, be able to monitor their blood sugar. So kudos to Eastern Credit Union, because that's quite a great initiative.
Excellent indeed. So we're sending out those commendations out there. Eastern Credit Union, the Diabetes Association, Rotary Club of Southwest Tobago, and also our interactors out there, young ones providing that support in the mix, the Interact Club of Southwest Tobago. And this is just a gentle reminder of physicians like Dr. Maxwell Adeyemi, as well as a number of others we had over the course of the weekend, Dr. Rosalind Alfred Dumas, and a number of others. Please feel free to reach out to them in their private time. They will provide that level of support to help educate and inform, because as far as they are concerned in the medical sector, part of their crucial responsibility is also to prevent if they can, and education and awareness is certainly along that pathway. So today it's World Diabetes Day, and let's take that time out to get some information, to get some knowledge, to become more aware in terms of going forward. Thank you very much again, Dr. Maxwell Adeyemi, primary care physician, public health. Speaking speaking to us here today on World Diabetes Day and giving us a little insight and information. Viewers, we want to thank you so much for continuing to choose the Tobago Updates morning show and to remind you that this is your opportunity to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Rotisserie, mouth-watering fries, salads, combos, and specials galore. Feeling for something to eat? Come and see. Our rotisserie is seasoned to the T. Kicking chicken, masala, and jerk roast. Crispy fries made from scratch. Who do you know can beat that? Or salads freshly cut and packed. When you taste it, you'll be wanting to come back. So come check us out on number 2 Robinson Street, Uptown Scarborough, Tobago. We open on Saturday nights from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. and on Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us at 772-7443 and all social media handles at The Rotisserie Factory.
Plymouth Blackrock Electoral District.
It's your turn. The THA Executive Council is coming to meet with you as we continue our district town hall meeting series. We invite you to come out in your numbers at the Blackrock Multipurpose Facility on Tuesday, 14th November at 6:30 p.m. as the Executive Council members give updates on existing and upcoming projects and programs. You also get the opportunity to share your concerns and ask questions. So join us from 6:30 p.m. on Tuesday, 14th November at the Blackrock Multipurpose Facility for the Executive Council's District Town Hall meeting. People of Plymouth, Blackrock, Patience Hill, Prospect, Corland, Wim, Marysill, Union, Mount Irvin, and Bethel. This meeting is for you. Remember, your voice matters.
Hey, hello guys, welcome. Come have a seat. Oh, this is so stylish and I love the fabric. Darlings, you must tell us where you got your new furnishings.
We got them locally at Standard. They've got new chic European furniture, crafted from high quality material.
Oh, Standard?
No, it's Standard, their brand new Hive collection.
Experience luxurious European furniture at a price you will love. The Hive Collection, now exclusively available at Standard.
Jimmy's Holiday Resorts has 1, 2, and 3 bedroom, fully self-contained apartments located at the heart of Crown Point. Minutes walk to the popular beaches, restaurants, bars, and the airport. Enjoy our amazing amenities such as fully equipped apartments, complete with Wi-Fi, AC, TV, and a pool, and a mini-mart on the compound. Call 639-8292 or 8929. Jimmy's Holiday Resorts is your family's home away from home.
You know, who would I ever believe it? Jessica could take care of a child, eh?
I know, right? I'm a kinship foster parent to my nephew Malik.
Papa, you remind me of my grandmother, you know, when she used to take care of my cousins.
If I didn't step in, I don't know where he would have ended up. Plus, I get support from Children's Authority, training, and counseling.
But Jessica, you not married?
That doesn't matter once you have a safe home and you're related to the child. You're good.
So did this give money to do this?
Yeah, they do give me some money.
So, Auntie, you can buy a Lamborghini for me?
Oh, I'm so sorry, Malik, but that money's to take care of you. Okay, smubble up, yes.
I will not try. Mommy, you can buy.
No.
Wait, I didn't even finish my sentence.
About Lamborghini, you can get lamb stew for lunch.
Auntie Jessica could only come when you come in, because all them does do is talk people business.
Malakay, I'm only going on the bed.
But mommy, the boy don't even live here.
Yeah, go to your bunkers.
What? Bunkers? Where's that?
I think I'm getting pretty good at this.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show, as we are being joined here by Inspector Mahalia Bacchus of the TTPS and Glenville Wilson. Hopefully I got it right, by Sergeant Glenville Wilson of the TTPS as well. So a special good morning and welcome to you both. How are you guys doing this morning?
Good morning. Fine, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. So we're going to get things started off this morning with some updates from the TTPS. You know, what's been happening. Did we have a safe weekend this weekend? Because I didn't notice any reports of any incidents. But if there were, can you just share with us what's been happening?
All right. So we did have a safe weekend. Amen to that. The TTPS has been doing an excellent job over the weekend, maintaining that public safety and keeping persons in check, ensuring that we all were happy and safe for this weekend. You know, we had the cruise ship in port, and that was one of our main focuses, to ensure that persons coming off the ship were safe wherever the sites that they were visiting and so forth. So we have the tourism-oriented police officers all about in the countryside, in the Scarborough area, all the areas, Pigeon Point, those areas that they were expected to visit. We were focusing on those areas as well to ensure that these visitors were safe.
Is there any kind of coordination that happens between the agents for the cruise stores and so on, and the police, to ensure that, you know, the police is aware of where these visitors might be, and to just keep an eye out in case of anything?
Yes, there is actually. That's why I mentioned the tourism-oriented police officers. Their main focus is on that aspect of tourism. So they liaise with the tour operators, the vessel itself, the cruise ship owners, and so on. And we get that information to ensure that where the visitors are, the police is also there. And we have the various station districts as well on board, with their patrols being on the outside to support as well when these persons are visiting these sites.
Certainly. And then recently we had a murder, unfortunately, happening within our space. Is there any updates on that?
Well, presently the investigation is still ongoing, so we wouldn't have any information to relay on that as well.
All right. And then I'm not sure if I missed out anything else in terms of what's been happening with the police and your work here in terms of updates and so on?
Well, in terms of updates, recently, we have a success story. Recently, we were able to make a breakthrough with a number of crimes that were occurring in the Tobago space. You know, for the past couple of months, we have had a series of break-ins and other larceny-related offenses. And in recent times, you know, based on our following information that we got from the public, we were able to intercept a team of men or team of persons who were perpetrating these crimes. We were able to recover a quantity of stolen items, in particular tools. You know, we are talking about brush cutters, power saws, blowers, chainsaws, and other alike tools. We were able to recover those items. Numerous victims were able to come forward and identify their stuff, you know. So I'm seeing a transition in going forward as we enter into the Christmas period. We are hoping that things are going to be safe.
We certainly hope so. And speaking of the Christmas period, this is a time where there are some unscrupulous people within our society that loves to prey on the vulnerable. And, you know, there's a lot of get-quick money schemes that are going on, and a lot of scammers being active because, of course, it's Christmas and everybody wants a little extra money to spend to make sure they can have a wonderful Christmas. So let's get started where those things are concerned. And I think I'm going to have some voice notes being played at this point in time of a recent scam alert or scam situation has been happening within our space. So, Director.
Yo. Right, and people have been owned by the people and moved by the people, you know. You get the account?
You guys tell me the account details.
I just said I sent it already for you.
No, it is. No.
What's your WhatsApp? So what I do, I come and shit. What time you finish your work? I come and shit there. Third floor football. You got it?
No, me, I sit down here. Doing it.
What's on your WhatsApp? You don't know WhatsApp.
The last message to me and you is when I said send your account.
Scotia.
No, it didn't send it to me. No, yes, yes.
I want to send that somewhere else, but let me check it out.
All right, cool.
Yeah, William. Right, you receive it?
Yeah, I see there. Yeah.
Receive it?
Yeah, I see now coming from WhatsApp there.
You know how to do it, send the slip for me and we go in and come in ship by you. I just want to show you money. If I come in, you really can't talk to the rest of the time.
All right.
Then I'll go back and do what?
I know, sin. Yeah. Yo.
Right. Soon as you do it, I'm home with the people here. Soon as you leave, you do it, send the slip for me, and I come in straight and bring the money for you and go back and do what I do.
Yeah. Cool, no, sin.
All right. Now, if you want to do the slip now, you must send the transfer slip to me, eh?
Uh-huh.
Pardon?
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so there we have just a few voice recordings of an interaction between, Mr. Million Nana and a scammer. And this has been happening quite frequently with through WhatsApp messages and so on. So can you just shed some light on what's been happening with this one latest scam that we're seeing?
So, as you mentioned before, and as Sergeant Wilson said, we are fast approaching the Christmas season, and it's a time when everybody wants to have cash or money, right? So there are some people who are unscrupulous, and they will go through all lengths and means in order to achieve this. And we have, over a period of time, experienced persons using those opportunities to try to get the money that they want by those means, right? Our role and function as the police officers, we are here to heighten persons' awareness and to sensitize persons that they should not be caught with these activities. One of the coveted things that people want is US, right? You know, you have business people want to order stuff, and there are persons in general who wants to have US, but the law really caters for US exchanges to only happen in certain places. So you have the banks, you have the bureaus, and so forth. So anytime you decide to take money from an individual, by saying I have 10,000 TT, I want some US, and you just want to hand it over by the street or so forth, you'd actually be like committing an offense then, you know, because you're not supposed to be exchanging cash like that. That's one of the first things. And then we have to be smart as well to look at the prospect of somebody coming to you with that kind of funds and the way in which they want you to depart with your money in order for you to gain the US. Right? So it is something that's been happening. We saw it last year. It was very prevalent, where persons were calling people and using prominent persons' name in society as the person who has the US and wants to get this exchange. Now, we're asking persons, you need to verify. Who are you speaking with? Do you know this number? Right? The number that is calling you to cause this transaction. Ever so often, they also provide you with a bank account number in which you have to deposit this money. And the minute you deposit the money, you lose this money because they have it. And how do you get the US from them now? You have already departed with your cash. You understand? So we want persons to be smart. You have to recognize when something is wrong with a transaction. And you go all out to try to verify, who are you dealing with? Who is this person that is really calling me, trying to do this transaction?
Now, what's also been happening is that people are, these scammers are getting into people's WhatsApp accounts and then reaching out to the contacts that are already listed there. So you're thinking that you're speaking to somebody you're very familiar with. So, Sergeant, I just want to know if you can give me some context with that's concerned and what people need to be aware of when they receive messages like this from people that they think that they know.
Yeah, so in any such case, we will normally refer it to cybercrime, you know, for their indulgence. But generally, you know, we have the criminal who will come forward and physically take cash from you. And then we have the keen ones who are going to stay behind the scene. They're going to stay behind a telephone, or they're going to stay behind a social media platform. And they will take the money from you very easy. You know, they will message you, as you said, they will hack somebody's account who you are familiar with. And, you know, you as the victim or the potential victim could assess the tone of the conversation. You know, sometimes you have that gut feeling, but this is not how my friend speaks. And you still continue to go along and you still give your money. You know, like in Tobago, right, or in general, when his spouse asks her husband for money, Some men want to know what you want it for, what you want. There's a whole investigation. But we have these strangers who are coming on social media platform, and 2 minutes into the conversation, you send your cash for them. And now you're trying to retrieve it, you end up in the hands of the police, very embarrassed, because you didn't think that you would do something like that. You know, so as Ms. Bakker say, we are asking you to investigate the persons behind the phone, not just the phone number. They will speak like the person they are pretending to be. So they're supposed to be this prominent businessman, and they have a voice as such. You know, and I think that is part of the reason why they part with the cash or they find themselves in that situation. But we are saying, you know, we need to check everything. We need to investigate.
What are some of the telltale signs that this might not be your friend that you're speaking to? This might be a scammer.
Right. Some of the telltale signs, you know, if you tend to delay the person, see here now, you know, let us do this tomorrow. You know, they always want to have it done now. They want you to send the information now, you know, because they think that you are going to do some kind of research. So they try to command you so that you can operate right away. You know, even the jargon, the way they speak, you will be familiar how your person speaks. You may know your friend to an extent to know what they are going to do, what they are going to say. You know, once you have that gut feeling, when you're in doubt, you need to check it out.
Sometimes you look at the area where they want to conduct this transaction. They want you to come with this large amount of cash. Meet me by the mall, meet me by this particular area. Let me know the vehicle that you're in. You know, the time, the exact time when you would be there, all these different things they do. So you have to think about it. Are you setting up yourself to be robbed, you know, in that aspect? Even further than just them taking your money and you're not getting the US. It could go as far as that, because you are this person, a lot of information about you, and you don't know anything much about this person. So I'm saying sometimes the number is a strange number that is calling you. You're not accustomed to the person using that number. Sometimes you call the business place number if you think is this real businessman, and find out, did you contacted me about US, you know? Because some persons, they did it after, and then it was too late when the person let them know, I don't know anything about that. I did not contact you, you know? So as we said, you need to check out this information properly. Or on a whole, you try to discourage trying to make those kind of large exchanges in terms of US, and utilize the correct medium in order to get your US cash.
And has the police had any success in trying to catch some of these scammers?
We did make some level of breakthrough, but there's only a certain distance that we could really go with this, because some persons never really got to the point of collecting the cash and that kind of stuff. But we did make some levels of breakthrough into trying to find out where this is coming from, you know. And also, if I use the opportunity to highlight, we also have persons scamming people by placing items like iPhones for sale on Instagram. Just 2 days ago, we have a gentleman in custody. The investigation is ongoing. Throughout Trinidad and Tobago, this individual kept placing this iPhone for sale and having people deposit their cash into an account. He receives the cash, and then when it's time to deliver the phone, they recognize, well, the day has reached. I'm not seeing the phone. They're trying to contact this person, no contact at all. When they go back to the account, it was Instagram, everything was deleted. So the person has now deleted the account, and they started a new one. Gets your money, and they are on their way, and they start again. So there are several persons that were caught doing that as well too. And as we said, sometimes they deposit the money, and that go on. As long as they know it's there, they go quickly, they withdraw the money. And then that's it. You have to now go to the police to make a report and all of that about your cash that was taken from you.
Yeah, just to add, right? Just to add, we are asking the general public to not be vulnerable, not make themselves soft targets. You know, the person may arrange to hand over the cash. We are asking the residents to not take the chance. Because you presenting yourself at this location with this large amount of cash, and the person may present himself with a fire and take your money. So we are asking the public to not take the risk. If they see anything untoward, please communicate with the police. You know, we have sections and agencies that are trained to treat with those situations, and not just with the cyber crimes or the social media crimes. You know, in general, the persons who are victims of break-ins, we are asking them to intensify security measures at their home or at their business places. You know, we have various projects in Tobago that are ongoing, and They were victims of larceny where their tools were stolen from their containers, their tool sheds, their construction sites, because they were left vulnerable, you know.
Yes.
As much as we endeavor to make every place in Tobago safe, we are asking the general public to also assist, you know, in not making themselves soft targets. Right? So we have to work together with this endeavor.
Yes, and of course, criminals can be very smart as well. So viewers, please be on the alert. I mean, it is Christmas time, and as you heard over the last few minutes, there are so many scams out there. If it's too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. So just, I mean, you know, just deal with legitimate businesses, check your people, and make sure that you are safe, your money is safe, most importantly during this time. And of course, the police is always there.
Yes.
All right, so I want to thank you both for being on with us. It was such a pleasure, and certainly good information there for the public and viewers. I hope you have a safe and wonderful morning. Please enjoy the rest of the show because, well, we have GMT coming up. And yes, you know, you're probably kind of confused as to why I'm here in the Tobago Updates morning show, but that's okay because we've got Mr. Jerry McFarlane that's going to be taking us through for the next couple of weeks as we go through conversations with the various secretaries and councillors within the Executive Council as we evaluate their last 2 years in office. So you're going to want to stick on for that for GMT coming up. But for now, we go to Tobago Notes and we would see you again tomorrow.
Sustainability and not so much about making a profit.
They have the role of fostering Tobago's small and medium-sized enterprises with growth support. And one such way the Business Development Unit does this is through Creative Tank. In this year's finals, 8 entrepreneurs had the chance to pitch their business models in only 3 minutes at the finals of the competition.
This year, because we've recognized the growth as well as the potential for growth in our tourism sector, we've expanded and focused on our tourism industry. This year, 17 participants would have entered the competition in the fields of mixology, recreation, tours, and promoters.
We want to see how much more creative you can be with your offerings and how you can now move your business in the most upscaled manner from where it is to where it needs to be. But most importantly, this is the THA giving a commitment that we are interested in supporting your business to the next level. What is that next level? Well, that's what we are anxious to see from today's installation of the program.
But only one person could be named the Entrepreneur Extraordinaire of 2023. In the end, this presentation got the judges' nods of approval.
Nylon pool tours, evening cruise, jet ski, anybody?
Nah, not today, brother.
Alright. Nylon pool tours, jet ski, evening cruise, anything today?
Nah, we good.
Where is this here, boy? Ross, I always seen you here. Anything today? Nylon pool tours?
Nah, I actually real good and I already have a booking with All Things Tobago. I mean my booking online. All Things Tobago is a digital marketing tourism agency where we create a digital experience of what a true vacation in paradise should be like, and we share that with our audience. Now, not only do we create that digital experience, we would have create a community with different businesses located on the island, and we generate business for them and assist them in creating an elevated service.
One of the things that showed up here today was a crisis of confidence. People were incredibly nervous in front of the camera. And one of the things that we have to build as we move and make our way in the world is the opportunity to stand up and talk, to sell ourselves, to sell our business, to sell our idea, to sell who we are. And so as you're operating in the niche of the tourism space, this becomes even more important because you're communicating to people who don't know you, who know nothing about the island. And so you need a stronger communicative presence. And that will come from you having confidence in who you are, how you are representing the island, and all of that will flow. There is no doubt that all of the 8 people here today were technically competent for the niche categories in which they operated. But in terms of some of the general skills, building out the marketing, figuring out some of the other things that come along with that, those are the things that we need to work on.
The entrepreneur extraordinaire walked away with $20,000, taking the prizes for Most Innovative Business, All Things Tobago, Most Promoting Business, JT Salt Life, and Most Engaging Entrepreneur, Cleon McPherson. Awards were also distributed to winners in each category. Tavier James won in the category of Mixology, Alphalea Telesford Recreation, Gideon McKellar Tours, and Cleon McPherson Promoters. Creative Tank is hosted by the Business Development Unit of the Division of Finance, Trade, and the Economy.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
Good evening, viewers, and good morning, viewers. Sorry. And I'm Jerry McFarlane, the host of this program. And of course, this is Beneath the Surface, and coming to you from Tobago Updates. This is the second edition of this program. We had this program was aired last year, and this is now season 2. After the second year of the Tobago members of the Tobago House of Assembly being elected. So Beneath the Surface is a program just designed to, we will be interviewing every member of the Tobago House of Assembly and letting them tell it like it is, and even getting below the surface, or beneath the surface. And we will like all these guests, all those persons who will be coming on the program, which include the assistant secretaries, the secretaries, chief secretary, even the presiding officer, the minority leader, and their councillors, will be taking part, and most of them have agreed to take part and to be a part of this program, and let the public get to see a light or a different side of them, and not the part that deals with the picong and the confusion and the bacchanal. Today we want to take a little lighter side and also touch on some of the serious issues that some of these members will want to highlight. Some of their personal life, some of their other issues or other interesting things that they may be involved in. So I'm happy today and real pleased to have the first interview with Megan Morrison, Assemblyman for Mount St. George, Goodwood. And she's the Assistant Secretary, Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation. Ms. Morrison, thanks for coming and thanks to be part of this interesting program.
Good morning, Mr. McFarlane. It's a pleasure to be here. Good morning, Tobago. And a special good morning to my electoral district of Mount St. George, Goodwood. And let me hasten to add that district is not 2 villages, as some people say, Mount St. George and Goodwood. It's not. My district starts at Bacalet Park on the highway there. So it's Bacalet Park, John Dial, Hope, Mount St. George, Goodwood, and a small piece of Goldsboro.
What a thing. I never knew that before. I just thought you were just a little after Hope or somebody, but I mean, I didn't do my research quite well. But I'm glad you said that. I must say that you look quite well this morning,
Thank
and I
you.
can't believe that the makeup team did such a good work. Maybe this thing come naturally for you, eh?
The makeup team is myself today.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. Well, it was so nice to be here. But tell us first to begin. How did you get involved in the politics? What caused you to be involved in the politics, to become a member of the assembly, to be considered a candidate first, and to become a member of the assembly?
Actually, in my case, it goes way before that. I always had a passion for politics, not intentionally. I grew up in a household that was very political. Even before voting age, I would go with my grandparents from meeting to meeting across the island. And it's during that time I developed a passion for, the political part of it. But nevertheless, I've always been in service life from a tender age. And as I become involved in the different political spheres, because I was part of a different political organization prior to this one, I guess people saw the potential in me, and I've been approached several times before this era to be a part of the politics. I agreed on this occasion, and the rest is history.
Yeah, that sounds quite interesting. You'll start off a movie, if you ask me. But what things were like? I got the impression from people I talked to in the community, in the constituency or the district, as it's legally called. I talked to one or two people from there. I made a quick dash through there yesterday, and people seem to be saying that you're well embedded, quote unquote, in the community. Why do they have to say that? You're so in control or doing so many things in the community?
Well, I've always been a part of the community. I was involved in heritage as a performer. I've done social work in the community. So this just was a natural progression. I have done a lot in my community since prior to taking office and as a result of me being in office. For example, I will start with I have an annual book drive, a back-to-school drive. That started before I took office, right? It started with me requesting used books from the general public and then giving to the persons in need. It started during the pandemic period. And subsequently...
So that just before the election?
Yes.
Which was in 2021?
Right, so this was 2019.
Oh, yes.
2020, I believe. Yes. And that's how it started, and people gave generously and so on of the used school books. But subsequently, I started purchasing books, and it has grown to the point where I get requests from the entire island. Do you have books remaining? Do you still have books? So during that period as well, and that was during the August holiday period, I collaborated with Visual Optical, and they did eye testing for the children and all of that. So those are some of the initial initiatives I did as representative and prior to being area representative that continue to today.
And I understand you did work in the community or maybe outside of the community promoting Queen shows and planning these events.
Yes.
And that's
well,
that was long before the THA appointment or election?
Long years before that. I have a passion for competition, not just Queen shows, but Queen show may be the one that I will hold in high regard. I've been doing this because I was a member of the village council. I'm in this probably about 15 plus years in terms of Queen show and pageantry and so on. And also I can say as part of the division I've been involved in, I've been at education and sport and youth affairs before taking office, and Sandy Hall. Sandy Hall is where I started. I have been entrenched in my division.
I got a report from somebody who worked with you at Sandy Hall and she was in such high praises for you, I tell you.
Yes, I'm very involved in my division. I take whatever I do seriously, right? I would always boast that I've never gotten a bad appraisal. And that is because I was passionate about my work. Still, I'm passionate about anything I do, any topic. once I decide I'm doing something, I'm doing it, and my aim is to do it well.
Mm-hmm. So you go about recruiting help to do some of these events and that sort of thing, or people just volunteer?
That too.
Or you volunteer them?
I do volunteer them at times, but they do come on board. And I can say now that I'm in this space that I am now, I see where, you build relationship and network and so on. So to this day, I can still call on some of those people and need a help here. And they would readily come because they know that they have built such a good relationship with me over the years. I must say I'm a no-nonsense person. I'm a straight shooter. So they know directly where I'm coming from. I don't beat around the bush with people. If something offends me, I will talk about it. I will say it. And that has not changed, right? My colleagues can attest to that. I'm a straight shooter. So we have people who, I had a former supervisor who used to call me a gang leader. So for example, if I decide, positive way, right? Yes. So if I decide this is how we going, the whole movement is this is how we going. For example, I was at the Division of Sports and Youth Affairs, and we had a competition coming up. I think maybe Blue Day. This is the Friday before Blue Food. And the team and I.
Oh yes, I remember those days. Yes. Yeah.
So
that has stopped for a while.
No, it was aired this year as well.
Okay.
And the team and I decide, well, this is what we're going with. This is the theme we're going with. We printed jerseys for everyone. We were there at 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock in the morning, putting up decorations and all of that. Of course, we won the competition. But I'm just saying that to say, to this day, those same people I can call and ask to help with anything, and they are there, right? So I think I've built a good working relationship with, people in the past, and I'm just passionate about whatever it is I do.
Someone told me that you have a company or something like that, or group that deals with kind of personal development and
yes,
things
that's of the young ladies. So when I have a personality under my wing, in my mind, I tell that person, your only concern is to practice your talent. I am there with you to practice as well, but that's your only focus. The other stuff, leave that to me. So I will write to sponsors. I will ensure that everything is in place for that personality. You need to learn to walk properly. You learn to speak properly, and you do all of that on a daily basis leading up to competition. So you're on stage from the moment you decide you're in this competition, your mentality has to change. So I help with that developmental side of that person until competition. And after, because I read some of them today that, thank me so much and still remember that I was tough on them, but they saw the result at the end of that.
You seem to have the ability to collaborate and to inspire and motivate people and cajole people.
So.
Where you got that from? That came naturally, or you were trained in that?
I think that came naturally.
And you did a program. I was checking your bio, and you did a program with the Australian University or the University of Australia. Was it
the Australian Institute of Business through CTS College is where I earned my master's degree in marketing. I can say it's from doing the program at Tobago Hospitality and Tourism is where I realized I have a passion for marketing, because on the different modules I did at THTI, marketing was one of them, and we had to do this water project, how we can bring alternative water to the island. And it's from then, my colleagues tell me and my friends tell me I'm a little extra. So I went all out.
Extra mean extra ambitious?
I think so. I don't like ordinary. So you find we decided to do truck-borne water, and we say futuristically we'll do bottled water, but we actually created labels and all of that for this product that will soon, Water in Sense Limited would have been the name of the company. We would have challenged WASA and all of our, of course the team got a grade A, but how we presented and the research that went into it, that is when I realized I had a passion for marketing, and I went on to study at the Australian Institute of Business through CTS College to earn my master's degree.
Tell us a bit, I don't want us to prolong this part, but tell us how you made out going to Trinidad and traveling to and fro and doing this program.
That was an
I thought the program would have been online, but you said no, you had to.
No, it was a face-to-face program. Online only came about as a result of the pandemic, really, you know. But in my time, this was 16 into 17. I had to travel to Trinidad every weekend. Every weekend, I was taught so much in that period. Sometimes I get emotional about it. This was during the time where we had one vessel, and I had to depend on the kindness of the port authority sometimes. I had to go down on the cargo boat, and this is where I gained a level of compassion for the truckers, because I would have to go down with them most nights. Hear they're snoring, if you hear these snores, because they're so tired, and they have to come off the boat and then go to drop off goods and come back. So I was a part of that experience. When the boat drifted, I was on it. I got left in Trinidad several times. I had, at one time, Miss Norrie was my supervisor. And, you know, they would say, I would have to call on Miss Graham. I'd have to call to say, well, I'm stuck in Trinidad. And, you know, and they were compassionate with me. Of course, when I came back, I made up my time with my work by working into the night, right? So my work didn't suffer as a result of me having to be back and forth between the islands and so on. There are times when I have exams on a Thursday, and, you know, finance being what it is, if I go down Thursday, me ain't coming back. I'm staying for the Saturday and Sunday class. So all those time I made up. I never had work pile up on my desk, and I am happy to say that I contributed to the development of my division and subsequently my island as a result of me being diligent at my work at the office.
Yeah. Okay, that is so nice. I really wanted to hear this story again, and from you. I've been hearing it from some of your former peers and so on. And I couldn't believe it. I felt they were doing a little to boost your ego a little bit, you know. But hearing it from you, I really feel convinced that you really made a valuable contribution in the public service while you were working there as a public servant.
On contract, nonetheless.
On contract, yeah.
I must point that out.
Yeah.
Yes.
So now, how you feel you've been representing the people of Goodwood, Monk St. George Goodwood? What do you feel as a representative?
I feel good. I feel humbled that they would entrust their lives and livelihood to me, and I don't take that lightly. I have some young people in my district who voted for the very first time for me. And so I always keep that to the back of my head. This is why I make an extra effort to be in my district. You know, I don't always get to attend office day, but I make up for that in some other way. Either I do it another day, or I will reach out in my community. There are days when the team and I will decide that we are going to this particular village. We have done John Dial, Hope, Goodwood in recent times. So the Monk St. George, you are next in terms of walking to see, get to touch base with the people. Although we did do part of Monk St. George, that number 1 village street, because there is a project that the villagers have clamored for, which is the widening of number 1 village street. And, you know, we know that every area wouldn't be able to get widened, but we reached out as a team. My staff went out and they solicit signatures from every household as to their agreement to have this road widened, and even give up a little piece of their land if that comes to it. We also want to rename that street in honor of Royal Titus. So we, my staff went...
That's the same street he was on?
Yes, higher up.
Yeah.
Yes, so yes, that is why in tribute to him we want to do that. So we did a petition, if for want of a better word, and got signatures, contact numbers, and so on for that, to show that they are involved and they are in agreement with having this process done. We hand that over to the Secretary of Works, and we are waiting the next step.
But you have to follow up with them.
Oh, yes, definitely, all the time.
All right. Megan, we're going for a quick break, and when we come back, we continue to chat with you and to ask you how you feel, how this thing affected your personal life when you come back.
Welcome to Standard, and today we're launching High. It's our newest brand that Standard is launching, and it's where luxury meets affordability. We're very proud of this brand. It's taken some time to get the right collection in place, and we're also going to continue to improve on our collection as time goes by and we listen to our customers more. We've changed our suppliers for this collection to European suppliers, so you're going to get that European finish. We've been very pleased by some of the results that we've been seeing in response to it in the market, and we're so glad to bring it to Tobago and show Tobago what Standard could, grow with them as well.
It's not just about looking good or having materials that are easily cleaned or sustainable materials, because the important thing about this particular collection is that it is quality. It is meant to last, and it lives up to the standard name about never beating on quality and price. This furniture particularly, especially our outdoor line, which ranges from fiberglass, plastic types of outdoor stools, outdoor chairs, even the outdoor furniture, it is built to last.
That's the importance with High, right? It's not only looking good, it's going to feature things that make your life easier, and it's not too damaging on the pocket. That's important for us.
This furniture fits the lifestyle of Tobago, of the Tobago customer, of the Tobago guest. It is the perfect type of furniture for you.
Want to improve your child's comprehension and creative writing skills in record time for SEA? Calling Preps 3s, 4s and 5s, Sundays only, 3-hour sessions of individual attention with a qualified, trained, experienced teacher of over 35 years and an SEA examiner. Call 266-5952 or 222-2082 for further information. Ask for Ingrid. Excellent results all the time. Want to improve your child's comprehension and create... Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago. Let's go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion starts to rise.
Yeah. Okay, we're back, folks. Continue chatting with Assemblyman Megan Morrison, and we want to chat, as we were saying before, how this thing has affected your private life, being an elected member of the Tobago House of Assembly.
Being an assemblyman means that you are working around the clock. You don't get an off day, right? I was also not prepared for calls 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. That is one of the things that I wasn't prepared for. And surprised that, people reach out at those hours. But I guess it comes with the territory. And so we have to learn to adapt, right? So, yeah, I think you have to learn to adapt. But the work, people expect you to be at every function. So I get that comes with the job as well. So I realize we don't...
Great demand on your time.
Yes, I realize, and especially maybe because of the field I am in. I am called on all the time to attend, various functions and so on. And I realize some people even get offended if for some reason you can't appear or whatever. But it is part of the job.
So sometimes he prohibits your rest time and all that sort of
All
thing.
the time. Sometimes a lot of people always, Megan, how do you do it? You are on the go all the time. I guess I was built.
Just imagine what used to happen in my days when we didn't have cell phone. Cell phone just came in around the time when I was coming out to the assembly.
Yes.
You know, but it should be easier now because you could communicate more.
Yes,
you know?
it's just a high demand on your time.
Yeah.
That's
But how satisfied are you with the level of collaboration among your peers and colleagues in the Tobago House of Assembly? You find that there's a good level of collaboration and sincerity and willing to help one another?
I think
we have room for improvement.
There's always room for improvement. And I think I have a team that mesh well. There's, of course, some more than some because there are persons you can call on at the drop of a hat and they would mobilize to help, like Nutsi is one of those persons. And I dare say he was the one that when we took office, I think was in March of 2022, we had a district tour where Works Department the Secretary of Works will come to see what are the needs in your community and so on. And it happened so that person for me was Joel. The secretary was unavailable at the time. So Joel was the one, Mr. Sampson is the one that went on my district tour. And so you get a better appreciation of what my village entails. Not that the secretary doesn't, but Joel will understand what my immediate needs are. And Joel is someone you can call on all the time and get results.
That is really true, boy. That is really true.
Yes, all the time.
That assemblyman.
You're right. Dr. Faith as well is one of those persons. I don't want to pinpoint persons, but my needs for my community
rest a lot with their responsibilities.
Yes. So I think the team works well together. There's always room for improvement, but the different division requires each division requires a different type of mobilization or whatever. So I think I do have cooperation from the team. Of course, there's always room for improvement.
Yeah. After 2 years, approaching 2 years in office, you must have had some challenges or some pain points, as I like to call them sometimes. How you deal with some of these challenges that you encounter?
From a divisional perspective?
Yeah, from your responsibility as Assistant Secretary.
That is a little difficult one. So my responsibility is culture and antiquities, really. And I'm the Assistant Secretary of the division. I think sometimes the position of Assistant Secretary is overlooked, right? And it's nothing intentional or anything like that because the law doesn't provide for the Assistant Secretary to have any authority really. It lies in the hands of the Secretary. So I might be passionate about something or to get something done, but the truth is it goes through, the Secretary, then Executive Council and all of that for final approval. And who knows, it may not find favor or find favor. It depends on the particular situation. So for that, sometimes, it's a little daunting. You don't get to be passionate and get to do as you would like to do in your particular portfolio. So that is a bit daunting at times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I must reflect on my time when I just went in. I was an assistant secretary as well in the THA. And my approach was one day I went and talked to a secretary for some assistance in my constituency, a district of Plymouth. And the man tell me this dismissive way, a colleague, my own colleague, I have to make an appointment. And I consider that so rude, to be quite frank.
Thank God I don't have that experience.
And you know what I did? I didn't make that. That didn't stop me.
Mm-hmm.
I developed relationships, not only with the other secretaries, but also with people in the division, the public service, public servants in those divisions, to where I used to get things done without even communicating with some of the relevant secretaries, you know. And that is the kind of thing you have to do sometimes when you have that kind of child. Don't sit down and cry and say, well, the secretary ain't getting this from me or the secretary, you know. You have to get yourself,
I agree with you.
do the necessary networking, make yourself available for discussion, treat them nice to show them their respect and let them see, well, appreciate their hard work and so on, and that moves people.
Yes, I agree with you. And I must also say that I have a wonderfully team of hard-working staff at the culture department who takes initiative. And
they're very dynamic normally.
Yes, they are. And they will come and say, we have this idea, or we want to do this. And they do stuff without you even asking them. And I really appreciate that. I want to say good morning to Mr. Jesse Taylor. He's the cultural officer too at the culture department, and his team. And they are very passionate about what they do. I know, I see where they have, I just always said, the part of the backbone of this division is the culture department, because they are the face you would see greeting the cruise ships, performing at functions and all of that. And there are times when they are there on the ground sleeping in the office because they don't want to go home because they have something else coming up in the next few hours that they have to prepare for. That is commitment without any extra remuneration and all of that. So I must commend them. They are very a passionate bunch. We are grossly short-staffed, I might add. And we want to be able to, you know, bring on some people to help, you know, alleviate some of the pressure they are under, I hope.
I suppose that is one of your levels of satisfaction that you're kind of proud of in your division. You have any other area that you're quite proud of, or you have some level of satisfaction or pleased about? Given your responsibility.
The division of tourism, I would say, is the face of the assembly, the tourism and culture division. So you find that most of these activities that happens, they are the one that take the lead, whether it be jazz, whether it be heritage, whether it be independence is kind of under the office of the chief secretary, but we collaborate with them on Republic Day and so on. It's a collaboration. The Division of Tourism and Culture is always involved in whatever.
Them the heartbeat of the assembly.
Right.
The heartbeat divisions of the assembly.
Right. So I'm very proud of the division on its own, because we are able to, you know, get the numbers up, people coming to the island and so on. We have been working in the background to ensure that we enhance the product that we met. And the product that we met, if we are honest with ourselves, have been in the dungeon for some time, and they are now coming out of that. So I'm very proud of the division. Of course, there's more that can be done, bearing in mind that we met a division that was, I don't want to say rock bottom, but we had to take it from somewhere to carry it to where it should be, and we are in the process of lifting the standard of the division, right? So I'm proud of the division on the whole, right? But I'm particularly passionate about my culture staff. I will always say that, because I don't think people get to see the behind the scenes of what happened to get this product. You know, they welcomed the president recently, and, you know, all of that. So everybody, culture is a go-to department, you know?
Yeah, and of course, as you said, culture and antiquities part of the responsibility, yes. But you have any policy or plan or strategic approach to dealing with these things? Tobago culture, as it relates to antiquities and so on, it's kind of not too thing, you know. They don't really treat these antiquities and these things in a very serious way, like other countries do.
Yeah, antiquities is a new
policy, a new approach,
a new element to the division. So it's just 2 years old. We have on board now technical advisor antiquities, Dr. Thomas, who is developing the policy for what we define as antiquities and how it should look, and the parameters by which we operate. We want to be able to whether it's on a private or public property.
You consider things like written word or people's book
of course,
and so on,
yes.
part of the antiquities,
so,
right?
I will always say that antiquities is not just a physical item. It's also written.
That's
it's
right.
also
That's
how we speak.
That's
and
correct.
all of that. So, barring the physical, we want to be able to document, even capture some of the so like Mr. Titus, we have some information that he gave us that we would now form part of antiquities, you know? And so we want to be able to, if there is a relic, even on private or public property, what are our boundaries, what are our parameters to say that, you know, all lands are vested in the THA, and yes, we know it's a private land, but this piece, this canon that your claim is on your property, how do we treat with it and stuff like that. So the policy is being developed now, so we will be able to know the parameters by which antiquities takes us.
Yeah, it's a pity you all didn't think about that before, or the previous administration didn't pay special attention to things like that, because especially after the scrap iron thing came about, all those things, some of those mills
Sugar
and
mill
so
and
on,
Monk St. George
cannons and all sorts of things just disappeared from some of these sites.
Monk St.
People
George
went in there
windmill was a victim of that. So.
Yeah.
The scrap iron industry. So, you know, there's just the base there now, and I guess because they couldn't move it, right? So we want to be able to legislate some of these. I mean, at least make suggestions for legislation.
And have them protected and secured, and do a nice history about them, and let people understand the value they contribute to economic activity then. You know, we have to go for a break, Megan, and when we come back, we continue chatting, and we look at some of the your involvement, if any, to what extent you're involved in this second edition of the Tobago Carnival. After the break.
So your car break down.
Oh, no, not again.
And you're worried paying a wrecker could mean a pocket breakdown too. But when you're insured with Tatil, no stress.
Yes!
A Tatil motor policy has lots of benefits that protect your pocket, like free roadside assistance. That's free 24/7 every time, as many times as you need. Tatil, where people are people. A member of the Ansa McCall Group.
Are you looking for a place for your loved ones? Heavenly Care welcomes you. Located at Northside Road opposite Massey Motors, we offer a variety of services. These include doctor visitations, social activities, geriatric care, and much more. Contact us at 277-9595 or visit us at Northside Road opposite Massey Motors. At Heavenly Care, compassion is at the heart of all care.
Inner Health, number 13B Portmore, Scarborough, Tobago, with over 25 years experience offering services in and not limited to microscopic blood analysis, reflexology, and the sale of a wide range of organic herbal products used to supplement thyroid, lymphatic, heart, kidney, and brain health, and the male and female reproductive systems. Come and chat with us. Remember, your health is your wealth.
Yes, we're back, folks, and we're talking to Assemblyman Megan Morrison, and we have about 13 more minutes before we complete this interview. And you tell us about what role you play in this second edition of the Tobago Carnival, which I understand was even better than last year, and people thought that couldn't happen, you know. But what role you played in this Carnival celebration?
Well,
all the reports seem so positive and progressive.
Well, according to the young people, this Carnival was a movie. Right? Carnival 2024 October was a success from all, reports. The business people, there were several bars and food available.
At different locations.
At different locations, and all reported a successful Carnival. For me, Carnival was the month of October, starting with the 30th of September, actually, that saw our very first event. I think Dream was the first event. And that was highly successful. And I can say that all the events for the month of October, I don't know of any that wasn't successful for the Carnival period. I was part of the committee that developed Rocks Glow, that event in the East.
Call it Rocks Glow?
Yes, Rocks Glow. We had it last year. Rain fell a lot last year. Of course, we didn't have the rain so much this year, and it was a tremendous success. I remember the person operating the bar said that they had to restock 3 times.
Oh, good.
Yes. And this was a day that had 2 other major events. So we had Rocks Glow and 2 other private events on the same day, 3 events. And they were all successful. And that made me feel good, because we see the economic benefit of the Carnival to the average person, right? The culture department did what we call the taste of the melting pot, which saw the traditional Tobago Carnival characters as part of the street parade of Carnival. If you go on NCC website now, they have a beautiful picture of what that traditional mass look like. And you got the response from visitors that it's authentic, they like what they see, and so on. So Carnival, from all reports, was a success. I am happy that the division was able to extend such a beautiful product to the Tobago population, to Trinidad, and to the world. And I can only see us going up from here.
Yeah, all reports it was really good and so on. There are little areas that I'm sure that you need some improvement.
Granted that we are only in the second year. What was big about it is the route too. Yes,
the route was just fabulous.
Yes, and that backdrop of the sea and the stage. We need a bigger stage on the sea.
Trees on both sides, and then you swing and you go down.
Of course. And I'm putting a plug to the Secretary of Works. We need a bigger stage. Because
we need a stage in the sea?
Yes, we need a bigger stage. Yes, we do. We need a bigger stage. That stage in the sea, I think that brought uniqueness to what we offer here on the island. Because I don't know if you saw the air drone shots. We were along this beachfront, and as you said, between the trees and so on, the route was epic, and well poised to showcase the island as a destination, not just for Carnival, but a destination in general. So we are in our second year. Can you imagine what this will look like in 5 years? We will rival even Trinidad.
Yeah. And as you on that quickly, what is the relationship now that's going to happen between you and the NCC in Trinidad?
Well, I don't have a problem with the NCC per se. They will do what they have to do. They had launched Carnival. They invited me. I attended. I was well received and so on. So it's just to work out if they can be a part of Tobago's Carnival without hindering the growth and development and the product that we intend to offer. We don't necessarily want a Trinidad.
You want them just to compliment and not just to instruct some way of doing something or doing it differently?
Well, this October element of the Carnival belongs to Tobago. I say that in the sense that in February it's a national Carnival, where that's Trinidad and Tobago. So the October Carnival, we would like to portray...
Maintain your own identity.
Yes, we would like to put out there what we would like the public to see. And we want to be able to do that without thinking that it has to be Trinidad's way or no way. No, right? And if we get that understanding from both sides, then we can work together if necessary to develop the product. You know?
Yeah. Quickly before time run out on us, any specific project or plan that you would like to see completed before the end of your term, whether it's in your constituency or in the division as part of the strategic
I would like to see the antiquities unit fully built out to start to archive and register and so on some of these artifacts and relics and so on we have on the island. In my district is a whole list. I would like to see the development of Hope Field repaired. There's the Hope Bridge I would like to see replaced. But I mean, I know funding is a challenge, right? I'm going to say number 1 Village Street again because it's not much that people ask for, right? We also like to see the Goodwood Pavilion come to a completion and the field so that the youths will be able to utilize these facilities once again. So I would like to see my facilities up and working and running so the youths can get access to these facilities.
Yeah, and people must really understand the importance of these antiquities, you know, they really have to come on board and be prepared. But you have a technical team. I know you told me about Dr. What's his name?
Dr. Thomas.
Dr. Thomas?
No.
Is he alone make up the team?
He and one other person. So we actually have to build out the unit to have it staffed.
And give people a specific responsibility, not just taking on people and paying them.
Oh, no, definitely. So I'm not about just paying people. Anybody who knows me know that. If you're coming to work, it's just that. We have to work, we have to deliver.
So you would like to see that antiquities, the build out of that project, make it more functional and make it more realistic.
Yes, that is what I would like to see before.
And I suggest that you could approach UNDP and UN cultural, there's a UN thing that you did cultural education and so on. I can't remember the acronym now, but UN has some entities that is built in to deal with such things and help fund it. You know, and help put you on the people who can guide you, provide you technical assistance to do these things. That's what I like about UN agencies and people like IDB. They're not UN, but they're part of a team that look at development in these islands and these small developing countries in a particular way, you know, and lend not only financial support, but also technical assistance.
Right.
What would you like to see change in the entire assembly, in the operations of the assembly, to make it more efficient? Or what would you like to see strengthened, separate and apart from what you just told me?
You see,
you're looking at an assembly with, I would say maybe about 15,000 workers. I mean, are you satisfied how it functions and facilitate members of the assembly getting their work done?
The thing is, funding is the greatest challenge that we do have. While we do have a lot of personnel employed with the assembly, if we have the required funding that is necessary to develop this island of Tobago, there are people that can be moved into other areas, right? Because there are people who are technical and there are people who have their work skills and so on that are not being utilized efficiently. And if we would get additional funding, whether it be from the national budget or alternative funding, I can see where the island will be far more progressed. We want to develop Scarborough, we want to develop Tobago, we want to have a Wi-Fi island, although we have started that. I'm seeing something in the papers where the Prime Minister is now talking to that. Most of our administrative buildings are already Wi-Fi free, Wi-Fi zones. We have some of our beach facilities that have already started the process, and I think the food hub is one of those that will be Wi-Fi friendly. The process has already started. So Tobago takes the lead where those innovations and so on are concerned. I see Trinidad is now catching up. So just imagine if we had enough funding to do what we need to do on the island of Tobago. And I'm putting a plug here as well. If you go to my district, you will see the vast changes that have taken place in my district since I'm the area representative. We have roads that have been neglected for years, all patched. We have walls
retaining walls and so on. If you just take a drive through, you will see for yourself.
I saw some of that yesterday.
Yes, that have now been, is now being, you know, there to facilitate the needs of the villagers in the various communities that have, I know there are some areas from as far as I know myself, I wouldn't tell you my age, that there are holes there and wherever that are now patched. We don't have to swing away anymore, right? So I'm saying kudos to the to my team, at my colleagues. They are working in their different spheres. We have the Division of Education doing what they do. Imagine we got some funds and so on to help with the heat and so on. We have the works doing what they're doing, the health service, the cataract surgery. We have the highest, well, not the highest, we have an increase in visitor arrival to the island from the Division of Tourism. And don't talk for the Agriculture Department. We have more initiatives than we have seen in so many years. We have the housing program coming with the Division of Settlement. The team is working, right? I just would want to see additional funding come to the island of Tobago, and you all will not see where Tobago pass in terms of development had we gotten the funding.
I kind of respectfully disagree with you a little bit on the funding issue, but I know there's need for funding, but you see with the type of operation that we have presently, we could do so much more with less people. Or if people, in terms of the present situation, just try to do so much more. You know, the little we have could be used to do so much more. But there's a lackadaisical attitude in the public service.
Or in general, in terms of the work ethic and so on. No, I agree with you that we lapse where some of the work ethic is concerned. I just spoke to some people from my accounts department, and they would tell you, well, I don't know if they would tell you what I told them, because I told them as it is. And of course, better can be done. I do agree with you from that perspective. But from the developmental perspective is where I spoke, right? And Tobago is so far behind in terms of development that the funding we have is a drop in the bucket to develop the island, right? Yes, I know the work ethic for the normal everyday staff. If that can be improved, we'll be far more advanced, far more advanced in terms of productivity and what we can present to the island in terms of that type of development. But in terms of development on the island, we need some injections of funds, and we have to find some way to get that done.
Well, of course, you could look at some other areas, especially for the development side, as I suggest to you, and UNDP and some of these other places under the UN, they have funds for that kind of purpose, and other institutions as well, you know, cultural funds and so on, all over, in different parts of the world. And we feel that the division and the THA can benefit from those things as well. The central government do in some of those ministries capitalize on that. But we want to, before we close, I must ask you, are you considering serving about 2 terms or 3 terms in the Tobago House of Assembly, and continue making this great contribution?
Mr. McFarlane, I will serve whether I'm in political life or not. That is the person I am. So me serving a 2nd term or a 3rd term is irrelevant at this point. At this point, it's just to get the work done and to see how much people we can help, how much families we can help. As a result, helping the island of Tobago develop and grow to the place it needs to be. So I will serve regardless.
Yeah, so if you've been asked to contest again and you're successful, you don't mind going on until
No,
maybe...
I wouldn't continue all that time in in the active political life. 3 and 4 times, no, I don't think so. Maybe a 2nd time, but I will help who succeeds me, and
regardless of the party.
Regardless, because I have been doing it all the time, and there was another party in operation, so I will help regardless. My life is service to the people.
Yeah. And what message you want to send to young people who may want to get involved in politics or want to serve the community or do just like what you're doing, you know, regardless of what party in office, you know, you just continue to serve, be of assistance. I left politics in 1996, I think, and so on. And every assembly after that always asking me to do something or helping them with something. Every single administration after that, whether they were PNM, you had 20-something years at the PNM, and so on. Every one of the administrators and the chief secretary always asking me to help them with something, you know. And that is my life, regardless of what party you're from and so on, you know. And I have some very good friends who are members of the PNM, and very good friends who are part of the new administration here as well, you know. We never fall out or vex. We give each other picon and so on, you know, election time and so on, you know. But, you know, we just have to see the bigger picture. And country and island come first.
Correct.
And if we have to do something about making this little island the best on the planet, we have to start to develop some ideals and some processes and provide people with a passion for want to do things and want to volunteer and want to contribute, you know. And that is what we have to drive.
Yes, I want the young people to realize they need to think big. Thinking and early morning work is not. Come up with something, some innovation, something new that you can see where 10 years down the road how this will make a difference for your community and your island. The political part of it is just another element of it, right? Because there are business people who are into politics and so on. So, if you're into politics, understand that it's about service to the people. It's not about any financial gain, because if it's financial gain, trust me, I'm in the wrong place, because, you know, the salary is not what people think it is, and whatever salary you have, most time it goes back to your community. So it's about developing yourself, developing your community, subsequently developing your island by contributing diligently to whatever fears you're in, whether it be business, whether it be your person. You're on a desk, do the work to the best of your ability. Another desk, someone is absent, ask how I can help, you know, in order to get the thing moving and to get the island developed as a result of your personal contribution.
Yeah, and we really have to be thinking that way. And to Begonians, you know, you have to be more business-like. And we're not just talking about the public service. I'll come a little bit back to that again. General, people have to be more business-like and, you know, steadfast and don't, you know, from people in a community sometimes that's very negative. Oh, what are they fighting up with that for? There's no need to do that. That could stay so. What do you think it is? You know, you have to find a way to get over these negative things and think positive and so on. If I used to listen to some of the people who tell me negative things that couldn't be done in my personal life, I tell you, I don't know where the hell I would be there today. You know, you just have to find ways to overcome them. Just take these as a drive to listen. I ain't gonna let that disgusting, negative idea keep me back. I know I'm pushing forward.
Yes,
you know,
definitely.
and that had to be the attitude to people. We can't just sit back too and allow for assembly people, assembly persons, elected people to die for them to do. You know, we have to be a part of the whole process. You know, as citizens and as taxpayers. You know, we have to try and do things differently and let the people who we serve or the people we put there to serve us in a very efficient and proud manner.
Yes, definitely.
So we have a lot to do in terms of the public service. And I was talking to a senior public servant recently, and they're telling me about they're trying to put up some public service committee to look at doing some things to reform the public service. I say, my dear, what a thing. You have the public service in this state and you're having a public service committee to reform the public service. I say, oh, geez and ages. So we have a lot of things to do.
Yes.
And so on. But what message you have for these young people and the public servants really, too, to help them to change their psyche, their approach, do business, operate business like yourself, praise and accommodate people, let them be the best they can be, let them be more accountable. What message you have for them?
I just want people to stay motivated, right? Think about the other person. Imagine a man coming from Charlottesville and he came to the office and you tell him that he had to wait 48 hours for a job letter, when you of yourself know that you can go on the system and make the changes.
Tell me this
and you're asking that person to come back. We just have to be about
just think about it, put yourself in the person's position. Just do that. And I think if we do that, we will understand that what we don't want for ourselves, we shouldn't want it for anybody else. Imagine you have an urgent business to do, and that person has an appointment. They just found out. They need your help to get that. And we had and fast, come back in 48 hours. Mind you, that isn't written anywhere. I'm saying that publicly. 48 hours for a job letter isn't written anywhere. Someone came up with that.
The psyche of the public
yeah,
service.
somebody came up with
put
that.
Pressure on them. Let them wait.
Right?
Let them
and
wait.
we have to come out of that mentality. We are here to serve the people as public servants, as public officials, as public officers. And if we try to put ourselves in person's position, we will understand that, you know, this person needs the help. Let us do our best. It is in our powers, it's in our hands to do. Let us do it to the best of our ability. The Bible spoke about it, right? Be your brother's keeper. Because I have the key to a facility, I have to pressure you, no. Because you have the key, you do go out of your way to ensure that people get the service. That is the mentality we should have. And that is what I would like to put out there, right?
Yeah.
Put ourselves in other people's shoes, try to stay motivated. I know some people have their personal challenges and all that. I take all of that into consideration. I would also like to shout out my district team, headed by Mr. Smith. I also have Afisha Irving there. I have Emanuela there. And Dale Lovelace is part of my team. And, you know, I want to say a special good morning to my district team. They are very hardworking. Sometimes when I'm not there, they have to face the public to give a response and so on. So I appreciate them very much. I would also like to say look out for Christmas activities that will come on soon. We have a lighting up of the district office on the 2nd of December. Come out and have some hops and ham with us. And we have our children's Christmas event that will come off on the 10th of December. You have to register from tomorrow. You can start calling the district office to register your child. And those are just some of the activities that we offer in our district. In June 19, Labor Day, we have our Car Meet and Fun Day annual every year. We have our we have roving days where we go to the different districts and so on and set up a tent and get to hear from you. So my district is one that I like to say we are the social team. Right? We have a soup kitchen that we run every now and again, and all of that.
Like
this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Couple more Megan Morrisons, but
well, there's only one of me.
yeah. But thank you very much.
Yes.
But before we go, we really want to express some sadness and ask people to pray for, you know, some special prayers to Huchoy Charles. He was the first chief secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly. I mean, before that, remember, we had chairman and so on. But he's really going through a trying time right now. I understand he's now in Trinidad at one of the health institutions. And we ask you to remember him in your prayers and reflect on some of the valuable contributions he gave and he made for this Tobago House of Assembly to reach where it is as an institution and to do some of the things that he did during those times, some of which were, or some people will say were against the law, but you had to do it that way in that time, else you got nowhere at all. So we must remember him. Yes. And of course, we want to extend condolences again to people like Carlos Dillon, who passed, and one of the icons of the tourism sector in Trinidad and Tobago. You know, we really regret his passing after surgery. You know, you want to talk too much about that part. But it's really an icon and he'll be surely missed. Yes. And I was also hurt because I spoke to him just a few days after the surgery, you know, not hearing from him for a while. And then suddenly you're hearing this thing, you know. But anyway, we all have to go this way at some point in time. So while we're here and we have good breath and so on and good health, let us take these opportunities or these moments to do more for ourselves or family our community, and this beautiful island so that we can be the best little island on the planet. Megan Morrison, thank you very much for coming.
It was my pleasure.
Yeah, it really was a pleasure, and you set a high standard for the others to follow in the coming, other members of the Assembly to follow.
They can handle just fine. I'm not worried at all.
So take care, have a blessed day, and congratulations to all the things that you have done, making the society a much better place.
Thank you.
So take care. Folks, this brings us to the end of the program for this morning. Thank you for all those visitors, those people viewing, those online. I see so much messages coming to my phone already, and so on. We thank you for your support and suggestions and advice, and so on. I have a good friend, Barry Joe Field in Trinidad. He's really magnificent in, putting on some ideas and some suggestions. Thank you, Barry, publicly. People like Alan Crooks and so on. Thank you all very much. You all have been you're very supportive in many of the things that I do. Appreciate your comments and your suggestions. Take care. Have a blessed day, folks. Tomorrow we have Joel Sampson. Yes, tomorrow we have Joel Sampson. Join us at 8 o'clock. This dynamic young man from the Crown Point area. You have a lot of questions to answer. We see you then tomorrow morning, God's willing. Take care, folks. Take care, folks.